If they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
That's why Hunter's in right there. Oh, got to shoot a three.
Wilson. Oh, and we are tied.
What a game.
Let's go.
Call the five slammer down.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Record me acting ignorant, man.
Baylor empties it out. Oh, it does. It's going the other way. Second pick of the night. Jeremiah Wilson finishes this one.
The dream is alive for Houston.
Go Cougs! Let's go!
Welcome into another episode of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family on a Monday night, a rainy Monday night, depending on where you are here inside of in the city of Houston. The sixth-ranked Houston Cougars come out away with a victory from the Fertitta Center. They defeat the Baylor Bear 76-65. A really solid, strong performance for multiple players, top to bottom, in this one against Baylor. Joining me for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, as always, Dayon Dunlap. We'll be joined by Kris and hopefully Fluff McKiver later on in the show. But Dayon, how are you doing, sir? First and foremost.
Man, I'm doing well. Cougs got the victory over in-state opponent, Baylor, and so it was good. Personally, I think the Cougs are kind of coming together. Longest health stays good, seeing a lot of promise.
Yeah, on the topic of health, we saw the return of Emmanuel Sharp, who had missed the past two games for Houston with that ankle injury, allowing him time to heal, and didn't have necessarily the most eye-popping performance, but he was solid in his return back for the Cougars. He had 10 points on 3 of 7 shooting. All of his attempts were from behind the three-point line. And he missed a free throw. This is something they said on the ESPN broadcast, but Emmanuel Sharp had not missed a free throw since November 26th when Houston played Alabama, and he went 41 straight free throw attempts in a row, making free throws. That streak came to an end in this game against Baylor, but LJ Cryer had a solid performance himself against his former team, 14 points, 3 assists. Milos Uzan continues to excel, and really since that performance against Texas Tech, when he had uncharacteristic multiple turnovers, I think it was 4 turnovers that he had against Texas Tech, he's bounced back with really good performances. Another 12 points, 6 assists, 0 turnovers for Milos in this one. Juwan Roberts had 10 points, 3 rebounds, and Terrence Arsenault, who we're talking off air, seems to really be getting in flow, in rhythm, just finding his comfort level with this Houston Cougars team. Had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers in this one. Overall, as a team, something that this Houston Cougars team is doing really well is taking care of the ball. And, it was interesting at halftime. Houston led 38-30, and when you looked at the numbers, Baylor was actually shooting better from the field than Houston. I think they were around 56, 57%. Now, Houston wasn't shooting it bad themselves. They were at 51%. But really the difference early on in the first half was Houston was taking care of the ball, and Baylor had committed a handful of more turnovers than Houston in the second half. That defensive intensity just turned up for Houston, and it's a big reason why they were able to blow open the game and build that 71-46 advantage and kind of cruise to the end of it in this game on a Monday night.
Yeah, offensively, Houston was in a really good rhythm. Like you said, they were shooting over 50%, and so they were moving the ball well. It seemed like it was just a matter of time before they blew it open and got a few consecutive stops back to back. Because Baylor really couldn't stop any of the actions that Houston got. They were undersized with losing their big men, and Houston really had an advantage of getting into the paint and getting the ball to Juwan Roberts inside, and so they definitely shot the ball really well. And just seeing Emmanuel back early in the game, he made that early 3, really shows to the strength of the spacing of Houston when he's on the floor, and gives Milos and really Juwan that opportunity to really be able to operate in that high post area where they do for himself or to facilitate. So Emmanuel was definitely key as I watched it early in that game.
Yeah, most definitely. And when we're talking about this offensive performance, as We are joined by Fluff McKiver. Fluff, welcome into the
What's good,
show.
Fluff?
First and foremost, how are you
How
doing,
you
sir?
guys doing, man? I miss my guy Dayon, man. I ain't seen him the other day, man. That felt crazy.
Yeah, baby girl had a game, man. I had to be dad.
No doubt, no doubt. How she do? Good?
She did good. She did good.
That's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
So, Fluff, talking about Houston and Baylor, what were your initial thoughts when you saw from the Cougars' 76-65 performance victory over the Bears?
I think we came out ready to go. I see Sharp came back sharp. Once again a performance from Milo's as far as, though he had some points, he had some assists and things like that, but the fact of no turnovers is super big with running a ball club, especially late in the postseason. Um, you know, just a great performance. We came out, we came out aggressive from the beginning. Roberts was aggressive. I think we just played a great game. Terrence was, he didn't have as many points as he's been having, 10 to 12 or whatever it's been lately, but he still was super active and facilitating, crashing offensive glass. Crier was Crier. Obviously, his knuckle is looking like he's in good. He's dealing with that, and I think we just we ready to roll. I think we gelling at the right time. We've been gelling, but I think we ready to get go into this stretch of the postseason.
Yeah, it seemed like I was saying before you hopped on. It seemed like they playing in a really good rhythm. The ball
Yeah.
was moving. They was getting pretty much any shot that they wanted, and it really stood out to me that with Emmanuel on the floor, how good of a spacing it is for Jaywan to operate in that middle.
hmm hmm And also, like we talked about maybe 3 shows ago, is um Roberts is seeming sure, even on his misses, he's super sure about the
Hmm.
moves that he want to make in the paint. That has been amazing.
Very decisive.
Yes.
Fluff, what did you think about Houston's defense to start off that second half when they went on that run to really blow open the game? Uh, like they were forcing Baylor to turn the ball over. It seemed like every other possession.
I mean, that's they was playing defense like it was like it's March time. You know what I mean? Like they was. I think there are talks, if I'm not mistaken, but I think there are talks of like, yo, listen, it's time to turn it up. And I think maybe at halftime, coach is like, yo, let's turn up a little more on them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think they came out. That's why they came out in the second half, relentless on the defensive end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cracks
I
the
kind of saw.
70s. Oh, I was just going to read this comment from one of our viewers on YouTube. He says, "Is that Houston team that made that run to go up 25 is a national championship contender? Great team victory in this one against Baylor."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That piggybacks on what we were just saying. I think that they're in that mode of, we're thinking ring, we're thinking ringing, we thinking about cutting the nets down. So it's like I think that's where the defensive pressure is going to get even better every game as we go.
Yeah, Baylor, a young team with young guards outside of Jeremy Roach. Those two freshman guards, you could tell that pressure, they weren't really handling it too well, especially when that trap was coming. They was having trouble playing through the trap and moving the ball. And just credit really to Houston defense. Like Fluff said, it seemed like after at halftime, it was like let's just string together a few stops and bust this game open. Because offensively, Houston was getting really whatever they wanted, whatever we wanted throughout the entire game, and then got a few string together a few stops. Although Baylor kind of stuck around, making some timely threes. I kind of kept it at 10, 11 for a little while. They was finally able to bust it open, but it was a complete team effort. I think was it four players, 5 players in double figures. Malik had 9, and so it really was a well team win, well played team win.
We had 8 players to score in the first half. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
that was anytime you get going like that, that means everybody's kind of hitting on all cylinders, and the ball is it's popping, it's moving when it's like that.
You know, one of the things that this Houston team did really well against Baylor, like we just mentioned, being able to force turnovers against the Bears. Baylor turned the ball over 15 times, but on top of that, capitalizing off of those turnovers, Houston turned those 15 turnovers into 28 points, which was pivotal. And again, it was one of the main reasons when you look at just the box score, right? Baylor shot pretty well, 58% from the field. There were 60% on threes, but they weren't taking care of the ball. And on those times when Baylor wasn't taking care of the ball, Houston was making them pay for it.
Definitely, like it's you know, I know it's a different I know we're on the defense, but it just flashed through. Uzan, 12.6 assists, no turnovers. I mean, I just want people to understand at the point guard position, for him to play a whole game and not lose the basketball
Especially with
is,
the high usage rate, how much he has the ball,
yeah.
like that's hard to do.
So it's like I think I know we're on the defensive end and we're talking about the defensive end, but trust me, you know, come tournament time, the other guy probably has 3 or 4 on the other end. That's going to be huge, and it goes back to our defense because we're probably turning them over. But you know, if our point guard is not able to be turned over, I mean, that's going to be very huge. I don't want to jinx anything, but that's going to be big.
And to your point, Andy, although Baylor shot 58%, they only shot 38 shots and Houston shot 53. That's
Mhm.
Right.
that's that's almost doubling the shot attempt. So, I mean, that's if they get. I mean, it really is credit to the defense. Also, credit to Houston rebounding and deflections and steals, being able to get those extra shots. But when you get almost double them in shots, it's gonna be hard to win.
Definitely, definitely, I agree. Great point.
Yeah, Crabtree on YouTube again said, like to your point, Fluff Miles had 6 assists, no turnovers. JoJo Tugler with 8 rebounds. 5 of them were offensive rebounds. And again, the great performance defensively that Houston had against Baylor. Kevin Hancock says, great to see Miles being aggressive, taking the ball to the hoop, and adds another dimension to the offense. Agree, and it wasn't just Milos, but in particular, again, he seems to be not only decisive with the ball, but when the opportunity is there for him to be aggressive and take his own shots and go all the way to the basket, he's making the most out of them and taking advantage of it. And that's the benefit for Houston because, again, like how Kevin said, it adds that extra layer to the Houston Cougars offense that it when he's clicking on all cylinders, it's just really, really hard to stop this Houston Cougars offense.
Agreed. I mean, it's I think it makes Cryer go. It makes Roberts be efficient with the ball. I think it all, you know, comes together when it's like that.
Yeah, and it all works together. It's like because they complement each other so well. I mean, with the spacing and the shooters from Crier to Sharp, and then you got a capable 3-point shooter. I'm not sure his percentage on the season with Milos. J1 has a lot of room to operate. I think, especially when you see some smaller teams, kind of like they saw tonight, you can see a little bit more high-low action with J1 kind of creating for JoJo, or really JoJo just playing it off the rim in that dunker spot, looking to get the offensive rebound and putbacks. And he did a good
Yeah,
job tonight. And even one time when he had the mismatch, he called for it and had his Scott Hook and actually did
I
something on
seen
the
it.
post. So that was good to see too. And so I think you get a little bit more from JoJo offensively because you know he's going to bring elite defense and everything on the defensive end. But you can get just a little bit more from him, like that. It makes Houston even more potent.
On that note, real quickly, let's take a pause to First, thank each and every single person that's taking the time out of their Monday night to join us for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. We'd like to take the time also to thank today's sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, beginning with Steve Saxenian, who is the primary sponsor of not only this episode of Let's Rage Coogs, but he has been each and every single post-game show dating from the beginning of the men's basketball season and will continue to do so throughout the entire regular season and into the postseason as well. So big thank you to Steve Saxenian, and also a big shout out to our secondary sponsor on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, and that is Star Pizza with 3 locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Be sure to visit them online at starpizza.net and check them out on social media at Star Pizza HOU on X and Star Pizza Houston, Texas on Instagram. They constantly have different deals and specials that they are promoting over the course of the week, and most definitely be sure to check them out on Tuesdays and Fridays during lunchtime for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. Mr. Big Texco on YouTube says one concern that he has with Emmanuel Sharp is some of tacky fouls that he gets. He feels like Sharp is too handsy, and at times it's easy for the referee to call fouls on him. Obviously, if he gets in foul trouble, could be some issues for Houston down the road.
I mean, it just depends on the refs and how they call in the game, really. I think he's such a tenacious defender. He get inside of his whoever he's guarding, and oftentimes, I mean, he could be handsy at times, but I think that's just more to the intensity and how much he's in his whoever he's guarding. But I mean, with foul trouble or not, I think coming off the bench or if in the second half, like they started to be Terrence Arsenal and Malik, and so the depth is there, but definitely would miss the things that he brings because none of the other guards that we have kind of bring what he brings in the realm of shooting and stretching the floor. But I don't know.
I mean, sometimes with great defenders,
Yeah.
you think of a guy like Pat Bev, or
Hmm.
you think of a guy like Tony Allen. Guys that are those guys
McKiver.
are handsy. You know what I mean? So like, sometimes they're gonna pick up a foul or two, but I think what they do is, once they do pick up a foul or two, they great defenders kind of know how the like Dayon is saying, they kind of know how the ref is calling the game. So once they might pick up one at the 15-minute mark, but you know, they'll learn like, okay, he's calling it that way. Okay, let me show him my hands. Let me
Hmm.
show the ref my hands. Boom, let me dig. I showed you my hands. I showed you my hands. So it's like I see Sharp kind of playing that way too, like where
Yeah.
he does stab, he does stab, he does stab, he does stab, but at the same time he shows his hands. So, I don't think that'll be an issue down the stretch.
And when he does that, he good enough and quick enough to move his feet and use his big body
Yeah,
to stop beat his player to the spot. And so, now his defense, he's definitely a really good defender.
sure.
Yeah, Crabtree on YouTube says Baylor has some pretty good ball players for sure.
They
BJ
just young.
Edstone, a legit
Yeah,
lottery pick, right? Scored 21 against Kansas, and Omir averages a double-double, and obviously we saw what he could do
yeah, up
tonight
close.
in this game.
He had the
I saw.
little I seen that. He had the in and out rap. Huh. I said, ooh, that
Oh
was
man,
nice. That was nice.
yeah, we
Omer.
saw. Yeah, we saw Amir up close and personal. He played for Miami when
Hmm.
they beat
Ah,
Houston a couple years ago, and so he's
okay.
probably really him and Roach are really the only 2 players with experience. But those other guards that he mentioned, especially VJ, you can say his athleticism look next level. But
Yeah, he
yeah,
won't be
they
there
just
next year.
nah, he won't. Yeah, he's gonna be gone for sure.
There we go. Well, the commentators, I got a question for you guys. The commentators on the game said,
Praying for chilling.
yeah, he said, Terrence, he will be a great player for the next 3 years here at the University of Houston. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about that? You think that he's a 4-year player, 3-year player? Do you think that because guys after like right now he's getting his introduction to
distraction.
the light, right?
Hmm.
Kind of
Hmm.
like into the light. And then next year it's like he's reminding me of Shed a little bit to where it's like now it's like okay, it's go time. Cause
Yeah.
like when
I
Shed
think
played with Sasser, he was doing it, but then like the next year was like, yo, he's doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you guys feel about that? You think he's a 4-year guy, 3-year guy? You know?
I, I think it's kind of reminding me a little bit more of of the Armani Brooks situation. I think
Gotcha.
he showed flashes to where okay, you like okay, he come back next year, like you seen, he had that opportunity to really showcase. But at the same time, I'm thinking this year with scouts looking at his potential, depending on the tournament run that we have and he has, you never know where his stock could go. And it could be like, well, I'm out after this, depending on how it goes. You never know how it could go in March.
We go
And
cut the Nets down. He averaged 12 in the tournament.
one good run, and he could be out of here for his potential.
Mhm.
But if not, I can see him coming back, and LJ is going to be gone, and him coming into that starting role and getting the keys. And like, it's time to roll. But that's going to be another high level expectation for him to step up and reach that, and then solidify himself. And so, either way, I can see it either way because he got the
Yeah,
potential, and we got the potential to go on the run. But also, I
yeah.
can see, well, okay, well, he
I
should
see
come
it
back
more,
next year.
yo,
You know what I'm saying?
I see it more, Dayon, and Andy. I see it more coming for next year.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know,
me too.
I
Me
agree.
too.
now that I'm like kind of being more involved, you know, I'm always been rooting from afar for my school, for our school. But now that I'm like more like looking at the stats every day, looking at the recruits, like I just started looking at Harwell, if I'm saying his name right. I've been looking at Cedric, what's his name? Cedric? Is it Cedric? Seenan?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
CNAC, right?
CNAC,
Seenan?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
CNAC.
CNAC? And I've been looking at the kid Fleming, right? And I'm like, yo, next year, I'm looking at Terrence Moore messing with them
Mm-hmm.
next year is crazy. You know what I mean? And
I'm with you.
Uzan is back. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Then you
you
got
know,
experience on the wing with Emmanuel
Yeah.
and Terrence, and then you got some of the young guns coming off. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, and I'm with you. I'm with you.
No. Yeah.
they
I
like
agree with
not
both of them.
they like really because I've been watching the young boys that's coming in, the three of them,
And McCartney on
and
that
I'm like,
bench too, the one who redshirted,
okay,
the
okay.
guard. They say he 6'6" sniper. That's what they say.
So it's looking like we like 10. It's looking like we 10 deep.
Yes.
That's why we got to get this one. If we could get
For
this
real.
one,
Mhm.
We
I'm
got to.
telling you that, Andy, if we could get this one, we could repeat.
Yeah.
You got to think about it, guys. I live in Connecticut. And show no support. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't go to games. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
family, I think about it, and I'm from Connecticut, so they like go Huskies. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
H Town, Cougs, go Cougs, stop playing. So I'm just looking at it, going, listen. It's like this, damn. I'm trying to, I'm trying to talk my stuff to them. We back to back champs too. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Manifestation.
yeah. So that's why it's big down the stretch right now. I think our key components, man, like even tonight with Roberts, I think that I mean I know it was a good game. We won and we won by a good margin, but I don't like when he get 4 rebounds and 5 rebounds. I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't like that either. I'm with you.
I don't care how much we won by. I need him with 8. You know what
I
I'm
need
saying?
him with,
Just
yeah,
you
at
know what I
least eight.
mean? Like eat the glass, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're gonna need down the stretch a lot. But Tugler had what 8, 9 rebounds too.
Yeah, he
It
had
was
8.
kind of a committee. I want to see Cryer. I want to see Cryer rebound the basketball more.
Yeah, he only had 1 rebound tonight,
You
and
know what I'm
that's
saying?
coming
Like I
off.
want to see him. I want to see him rebound the ball a little more. Like, maybe give me 3 or 4, Cryer. Give me 3 or 4, LJ. You know what I'm saying? I think that that'll be big for us. You know those long rebounds too. Sometimes when we get it long, give it back to Uzan, set it up again. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
those little foul line rebounds that the guards could get, we need to get some more of those 50-50 basketballs.
Not too complicated on YouTube. Says that Terrence with better ball handling gets him in the first round of the NBA draft. Mr. Big Texco thinks that Terrence needs to come back for an additional year. Doesn't see him on anybody's mock draft currently, but like you guys said, all it takes is one NCAA run. But I would say right now, I think definitely he's got this year and next year, in my opinion. And I think next year's the year, considering health and all the things, is when he can really take off.
I want to
Yeah, I
say
think
this
so
to
too.
whoever just said that. Let me tell you something from just experiences from, other guys, just myself, anybody that's been involved with the game at that level of trying to make that dream happen. Never get too caught up in mock drafts. Because if you really watch it, it never really goes like that.
Never.
If you really watch it, you can watch Draft Express, NBADraft.net. You can watch ESPN, which is probably the closest to the most accurate one because of the information that they're getting from the GMs. But if you really watch it, it never really it never even really comes that close.
Yeah,
Like you see,
I don't watch much draft. It's funny because me and Chris a couple years ago was talking about Quentin Grimes, and the mock drafts had him going second round. But I'm telling Chris, he first round, and he went first round. And Chris like the mock drafts is like I'm like Chris, the run he went on, he ended up first round. And so, like you said, those mock drafts, that's really just for clicks and just for just talk, uh,
yeah.
prediction.
And it's another thing about it is, there's mock drafts and then the workouts come.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
got some guys who will,
The stock
workouts
rises.
workouts don't start until like beginning of May, mid-May. So what ends up happening is who's going to really keep working once the season is over with. So some guys stock is high, and then when the workouts come, they
Mhm.
they fell off a little bit. So mock drafts, it'd be close sometime, but don't go too much on the mock draft, my guy.
This is an interesting question asked from Not Too Complicated. He says, does it seem like Mercy Miller's defensive development is going a little slow?
Well, I don't see him. I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to say because he was
we would have
playing
to be
what?
at practice.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Coach Sampson said his offense gets him on the floor. His defense is going to keep him on the floor, and
Mm-hmm.
so I
I
mean
just think
that's
it's
the
a
only thing
situation
we
right
can.
now. I think
Where the
it's a
minutes gonna come from?
like where would they come from?
Right. I think that's what it is.
I
Yeah.
think that if he was, and this is the message to all my young guys out there that's playing the sport, 8 years old and up. It's just my opinion. Free game is if he was more of if Mercy was more of a point guard, there would be minutes available for him. Because
No
if you
question.
because if you think about it, besides Ooze, I call him Ooze. I want somebody to start Ooze, right? But like if he was more of a point guard, he would get backup minutes for Ooze and then maybe a couple 3 minutes over here, 3 minutes over here. That might have him at 16. 16 gives him at least to show what maybe he could do with the 16. That might get him 24.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the fact that if you think about it, who's our other point guard?
Well, there's not really another point guard, but they asked Malik Wilson to do it in stretches.
I got no. Malik does it in stretches like we do it by committee. Crier brings it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
got it. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying if Mercy had that too,
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
think he's like literally a two.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm saying if he had more, some point guard skills, and maybe he'll develop them in the off season. It would be more minutes for him on the floor. But it's like where would they come from as far as how his style of play? I don't see many minutes available for him right now.
Yep. No, I concur. I see the same thing. Like, where else would they come from? I definitely think if he was a backup point, like with the point guard coming in next year, he's gonna get those backup point minutes after Milo's. And so, like, I agree
He's
100%.
listen, listen. He's gonna be out there. Yo, it's so funny. Before he committed, my son, he put me on to him. He said, "Yo, Dad, this dude Kingston Fleming."
Hmm.
Yep.
He like, "Dad, he nice." I'm like, man, whatever, right? And I was watching him before he got with us. He's athletic. He can shoot it. He tough. His frame is already college. And so young guys, man, work on have your point guard skills up, man, because one thing the coach always needs is somebody to handle the ball. For sure. That's why Ooze is like in heaven. That's why sometimes
Hmm.
he play a little lax because it's like, y'all ain't got
Yeah,
nobody to do the job.
yeah.
I'm the only one that could, because it's handle that gets you to the basket, and then there's handle that runs the play.
Mm-hmm.
So Ooze has the handle to run the play
Play, in facts.
and get to the basket.
Right.
So
I just
that's
need him
why
to
he's the
be,
point
I
guard.
need him to be aggressive to look to get to the basket though. So I'm like, he don't be looking just to get there.
I
Like,
got you, but the other part we talking about, Dayon, is he's the only one that can do that though.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Crier
I'm
get
with
it.
you.
I'm saying Crier could do it too, but I'm saying McCrier, he's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? He probably trying to get to the lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
On
and
that
I gotta
note,
admit something. I gotta admit something. I'm getting old. I gotta admit something. I don't laugh, Andy, Dayon. Do not laugh. I'm just putting together, man. That Criers was one of the Baylor guards with
The championship.
with
Mitchell,
what's the other two guards, man? With Mitchell.
Mitchell and
Davian
Butler.
Mitchell.
Are you
Uh
kidding me?
and Teague.
Listen. I just put that together.
His freshman year. Yeah.
It's crazy.
He got the first chance to win 2 national titles to 2 schools.
That'll be big time. And how do we feel about his chances getting drafted or making the league? How we feeling? We need a run for him.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh man, Kris, you dropped me down that quick as soon as you get on here. What's up, bro?
Hey, welcome, Kris.
not
Yo,
not
that
gonna
was
happen.
crazy. I'm
I'm
like,
with you, Kris.
he just boom, not gonna happen, man.
Well, and
Man.
this too, he said, Mr. Big Texco says that sometimes LJ's floater can be hit or miss. Sometimes he has easy floaters, comes up
He
short.
takes it off the
Yeah.
wrong foot.
Yeah, he needs to be a
does.
better 2-point scorer. He can catch
Yeah.
and shoot with the best of them.
His
And
floater
then this
is
point too.
a lot on his right foot. And I'm like, yo, man, you're not left-handed. If you're gonna do that with your right foot, do it with your left hand. But he doesn't. There were a lot of scouts here at this game, and looking at VJ Edgecombe for Baylor, but there were, looking at Juan and there was some talk about Sharp, not much talk about Crier in terms of being drafted. It's a 2-round draft. It doesn't mean you want to have a pro career, but he's got to do a few things differently, go to the right team. You know how it works, Fluff, But
I mean, do you guys think that in a different setting? I'm a Coug, man.
of course,
So
yeah.
I hope the whole team go to NBA. You know what I'm saying? I know it can't
Yeah, me
happen,
too.
but you know what I'm saying? That's how much I root for them young guys. But how do I put it? Do you guys see? Because I feel like at Baylor, now that I just admitted something, Kris. I just realized
I heard you. I heard you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Right? I think he was playing more of a point guard role there.
Nah.
No,
Nah, he wasn't. It was his
was he
freshman
handling
year.
it like a little more? Because he wore 4 there too, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a spot up shooter there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember they had
Yeah, a lot of guards. A lot of very
guards.
good guards.
They had Teague, Davian Mitchell, But it was also the guard. Was it George?
You
He played a
you
lot
said
at
He
Jared
Utah.
got
Butler.
drafted to Utah
Butler,
Jazz.
Butler. That's what it
Jared
was.
Butler.
Butler.
Jared Butler.
Jared Butler. Yeah.
I mean, Coach Sampson says I don't think he's changed yet. That Baylor team was the best team that Houston
He's
faced
seen.
in his years at Houston.
Yeah.
They were good.
But Baylor was now without their starting big man who got injured Saturday. So this is their first game without him. Coach Sampson said in post game that Baylor losing him was kind of similar to the Cougs losing JoJo Tugler last year. Josh was important to Baylor, so it's going to take a while, some time for Baylor to adjust to a different setup. Norshad Ormier is a Cougar killer. He heard the Cougs when he was at Miami in the Sweet 16. He heard the Cougs tonight.
He'll look good. He'll look good in
Chris.
the Cougar uniform.
That was nice. That behind the back dribble was nice, man.
Ooh, with the behind the back.
Well, yep, that was nice.
Ooh.
But I'm sure y'all touched on it. Baylor shot 58%, 60 from 3, and needed to get hot. Well, on a run to make the game 11.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just that good, Chris. What you want me to say?
I know. I mean, that's what I said earlier in the season, that this Cougs team would be different because they could win some games with their offense. And the defense may not be as elite as previous Cougs teams, but this year's team could score better. The first time on offense, you had with 5 guys in double figure scoring. And it's just a different team and different options, different players you got to scout for to stop. Coach Drew was joking when he said it. He was hoping that Emmanuel Sharp was not going to play today because he's like, it seemed like every time Baylor has an opponent, the opponent had a key player not play the game before Baylor, but come back the game to play Baylor. So he was like, that's one of those seasons. But both coaches had very high respect for each other. And these are 2 good basketball programs. Of course, Baylor has their national championships, so they are a national championship program. But this was a good Cougs win. What is it, 28? The points off turnovers were just obscene, man.
20 to 14.
Yeah. To convert off the turnover is major.
And the 14th Baylor was toward the end of the game. I mean, because the Cougs only had like 4 turnovers for most of the game, and then it got kind of sloppy and careless in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But only second chance points for Baylor had, I think, 4 offensive rebounds for Baylor. Part of that's because he shot so well too. But this Cougs team is they can beat you defensively. They can beat you offensively. Milos was aggressive in the second half. Coach Sampson did mention that the second half, they kind of told Milos, don't call plays, just go get it. Go be aggressive. And he did that. So it's something that all of us have talked about wanting Milos to do. Milos said it wasn't difficult for him to be aggressive. He's accepted that challenge from the staff to be more aggressive. It's just a balance. Because you got a lot of weapons to choose from. So
so it's tough. Yeah.
But man, oh man, Coach Sampson made fun of Terrence Arsenault's first shot, that long air ball. Coach said it was a 30-footer from 23 feet. Man, it was a long air ball. But
I gotta use that. Man, stop shooting 30-footers from 23 feet, man.
But yeah, it was good, and it's good to see, as Crabtree has talked about, posted that Kingston Flemings was here, Bryce Jackson was here. Kingston's been here a couple of times the last few home games. Next year's squad is going to be just really, really good.
Yo, Chris,
this year's squad is really good.
We were talking about this.
Yeah. I broke it down. Hey, Chris. Next, listen. I just was breaking it down. If we could get this one, we almost. I think we getting the next
one. And let me say this. I think since these guys are Cougars, they're not, high school or whatever. Chase McCarty is about to get his shots in. Again, he's going to put the machine up, work on his shots. Coach Sampson said, I think in the last Zoom call, that Chase, his shooting ability is up there with LJ and Emmanuel Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He's that good a shooter. And I see it here. So, yeah, I believe it.
And I didn't even know he had NBA bloodline.
Who's bloodline?
Fred Pachilla said his dad played in the league. Who is his dad, Chris?
That's news to me. But yeah,
I think that's what he said.
yeah.
Let me fact check that and make sure.
And to get him, he was a 4-star recruit. To get him to come here in redshirt and work on this game is another example of the program, the development.
That's a smart move for a kid too.
Yeah. So yeah.
If you looking at it,
Yeah.
you know, maybe Mercy should have redshirted. You know, maybe that's a touchy subject, but
No.
You know?
I think in terms of, I mean, because early in the season, there was a question who's going to be the ninth man in the rotation, 8th or 9th man. It was between Mercy and Malik. Malik took it. Malik took that from Mercy. So it wasn't, there was still some question of who was going to be it. So that's why Mercy did redshirt. So you got to give credit to Malik on that. He earned those minutes. He earned it time in practice. He put in the work, and we see the fruits of that labor. The Cougs 8-man rotation when it's healthy is rock solid. You get Javier not in foul trouble in 2 minutes, like he was Saturday.
Right.
Javier and JoJo at their 5 spot, when the refs aren't calling it tight and letting them play and be aggressive, it's a benefit Cougs. I mean, heck, Juwan didn't have to do much tonight because Baylor was not going to let him beat them. And everybody else stepped up and got it done.
Yeah, Chase McCarty, his dad, Walter McCarty, is a Hall of Famer at Southern Miss.
Oh my goodness!
Played with the Denver Nuggets, 14 years overseas.
That's
played. Yeah, he played with the Denver Nuggets and he played 14 years overseas.
He played at Kentucky, right?
No, it says he's a Southern
Walter
Miss Hall of
McCarty.
Famer.
Walter McCarty played at Kentucky. Yeah, Walter McCarty.
Did you say Walter McCarty?
Yeah, Walter McCarty played at Kentucky. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't say Walter McCarty. His dad played at for Denver. I'm trying to see his name.
Because I know
Kelly McCarty. His dad's name is Kelly McCarty.
Kelly McCarty. Okay.
Kelly McCarty. My bad. Kelly McCarty, Mount Felicia.
But next year's team, man, just enjoy this ride, people. Just I'm saying, let's enjoy this ride this year as well. I'm not passing this season up because this team is 12-1. Fluff?
Yeah.
12-1. First place. Man, oh man. Next year could be good too. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
More Kris.
Other recruits, 4 and 5 stars are looking at the program as well. And Bryce Jackson was the best player in the state of Texas when he was a freshman before his injuries. Folks forgot about him. The Cougs didn't forget about him. He signed with the Cougs. And before his injuries, he was probably a 4-star. He dropped down to a 3-star. And as soon as he signed with the Cougs, he became a 4-star. So he was a 3-star with his injuries, signed with the Cougs, and became a 4-star.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
On a roster, how many scholarship players are on a roster?
13.
13 scholarship players.
Yeah, but on men's side, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Kris, on the topic that I also wanted to add that you were speaking on, but with the win tonight, Houston also improves to 20-4, so they just clinched their 10th consecutive season under head coach Kelvin Sampson when they've won at least 20 games or more. Going back to the first year they won 20 or more, 2015, 2016. So again, just a testament of the coaching job that Kelvin Sampson and his staff have done over the course of the past decade at Houston. But again, like you said at the previous show, that once again, to reiterate, this is most definitely a golden era for the Houston Cougars men's basketball program.
And Scott Drew, Baylor head coach, he made it wasn't not a point, but he said in his post game, if folks don't appreciate or understand the job Kelvin Sampson has done in rebuilding this program and reestablishing this program, you need to really realize what he's done, what Coach Sampson has done in these 11 years. Coach Drew was serious about it, folks. The job, the task that Kelvin Sampson had when he came here and to what he's accomplished in these 11 years it's remarkable. So don't forget that. And there are some folks, through no fault of your own, if you come on the bandwagon last 3-4 years, you weren't here in the beginning. You weren't here year one when there was hardly anybody in this building. So this is truly a third golden era for the program, and the ultimate goal is still within reach, is to get that championship. I said in every LRC show, because I'm trying to be like Dayon and talk it into existence. When it happens and the Cougs get those 6 wins, Fluff, you too, Andy, Dayon, anybody else who got a cell phone, you put it on me. You find out where Kris is, because I want to see him making those confetti angels, doing whatever he can do on the court, because I'm going to do it. I'll have to talk to Jeff Conrad and people at the NCAA here.
Yo, please tell Jeff Conrad I said hello, please.
I sure will, because I am about to act ignorant for my alma mater. So, I want to do that. I want folks to be like, what is he doing? What is that guy doing right there? And everybody can turn around and say, he's doing what he said he's going to do. The Cougs.
I mean, doesn't it feel amazing? I think, it feels amazing to feel a part of something and you're not physically doing it. Meaning that, that's what's beautiful. That's what's beautiful about sports and being tied to, a prestigious place as the University of Houston is like, we're not sweating at all. We're not running up and down at all, but we feel a part of, what they're doing, truly. And I think that's huge, man, as far as, where it was, like Kris said, where Coach Sampson has brought the program from. Like my thing I always say is there was flies on the wall, man. It was flies on the wall, and he's done an amazing job.
Fluff, what you think, Andy, too? What you think it's going to take for Coach Sam to get a statue, a natty? He get the natty statue already in the making?
I think he
he's got
get
it
one. I
secured.
think
It's already coming? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think, regardless of what happens,
It's already coming?
Yeah.
you got to think about it like this. They say 3 golden eras, right?
Mhm.
So, and I'm not talking about players. We're talking about the team.
Coach. Yeah.
We're not talking about nobody's stats or anything. 3 golden eras of teams fulfilling success. What he's done is even getting to the Big Eights and the Final Fours. What he's done is he has, if you really do the math on it, when did Elijah Wan them lose that game to North Carolina State? That's the
83.
craziest loss ever.
83.
But that's
April 4th,
1983.
1983.
That's 41 years ago. 35 to 30, if we want to say 34 to 35, 36 years of mediocrity. And you bring it back to promise. That's a long time. Like that's a long gap. 35, 36 years. That's a long gap for him to come and do what he's done for the university and make pros. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you have schools that win that don't have pros.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You got plenty of schools that I can't think of none right now off the top, but there's plenty of schools that win and they have no pros. So he's actually promoting kids that are at that level. You're not at that level, you're not. But he's actually promoting kids to make that dream happen at the same time teaching them, okay, it's about winning first here, though, even though you want to go there. So
Fluff, I gave Jeff Conrad your message. He says hi.
what's up, Jeff?
That's why I went off off the screen.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. That dude right there that's a cool man. Like that's he be on his he be locked in too.
I want to touch on this. I don't know if you guys did while I was in the post-game pressers. Our previous Let's Rage Coogs show, we had a viewer ask or talk about when was the last time a team won the national championship without multiple first-round picks. And the answer is 2023, UConn. only had one first-round pick, Jordan Hawkins. That year, the Cougs had 2 first-round picks in Jarris Walker and Marcus Sasser. So it's not as long ago as people may think. You don't have to have multiple first-round picks to win a chip. All right, it helps, but it's not a guarantee it's going to win you a national championship. But I just want to put that out there. So the Cougs may not have first-round picks this year.
Might not have one.
Multiple, for sure. But it does not mean they can't win a chip. Okay. They have a great chance. And this year, I think Fluff said in one of his first appearances on here with us, there are a lot of good teams in college basketball this season. The Cougars are among them. That's not really an elite team. Auburn's good. Bama's good. Houston's good. Florida's good. Tennessee's good. But
it's going to come down to coaching.
Yeah. Execution. Who's healthiest at the right time.
Right.
And matchups, of course. Me and Buddy were talking about it before postgame started. St. John's is playing great defense. There's a lot of good teams, playing basketball this season. I'm looking forward to the tournament. And hopefully every team is as healthy as they can be come March. As long as the Cougs win in the last game in April.
San Antonio, the basketball gods.
Yep.
San Antonio, I mean, it's set up right.
And why not? Is correct. Baylor had a net of 26. So, yeah.
That means Houston has won 5 quad 1 games in a row, right? Because they started 0-3.
Yes. And they went back and forth with, who was it? West Virginia? Who was it?
West Virginia and UCF.
UCF. One of those kept going back and forth. They're right on the border of quad 1, quad 2. But Cougs are now, I think, 10-4 in a combination of Q1 and Q2. So folks who are worried about, wow, the Cougs don't have enough quad 1 wins yet, are they? In the Big 12. that wasn't going to be it. You got plenty of chance to get quad 1 wins, and they're getting them now. Looking forward to the time off, probably Tuesday and Wednesday, and then get back at it on Thursday, and then a big one on Saturday against Arizona. First place.
Yeah.
Kris, what were some of the messages that Kelvin Sampson and the players had in their post-game press conference?
Terrence Arsenault, I asked him how he feels, how close. Terrence said he could use time off, these next 2 days off. Playing Saturday, Monday was the quick turnaround was kind of an impact on him and the Achilles, but he said he said he's being really optimistic. He'll be 100% after the days off, days rest. And I'm like, well, okay, that's good to hear. And then Milos I asked him if it's difficult for him to be aggressive, and that's where he just talked. I was the only one to ask those guys questions. Coach Sampson, if you watch it, if the Cougs media department does not edit it out, Coach Sampson got into it. Was not into it, but he was in one of those moods where Andy Dayon, and we've all faced it, where he gets on a media person. Mm-hmm. So the first 30 seconds or so, he got in with a media person from the question that the person asked. So I'm not going to put the colleague on blast. And
what's the question?
It was just a basic question, It's that we ask or someone asks every game. Coach, you did a great job of converting the turnovers into points. What does that say about your program? And this coach just went in. You ask a question every game. You do this. You do this. It was Coach Sampson being Coach Sampson. So if you're an outsider and not used to that, you think, damn, Coach is just getting in this person's butt.
I got a story for you guys about Coach.
It's just part of it.
Coach Coach, they played, this is when we was in the AA or whatever you want to call it.
AAC?
AAC. And you got to think. So they got to come and play UConn.
Yeah.
So when they came and played UConn, I went to the game. So I go to the game, and I'm in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the locker room. I'm at the game. Whatever we're talking, whatever. And I'm like, I'm talking to John Houston, like right here, and he was like, "Yo, listen, there ain't no talk when I'm talking in my locker room. It ain't no talking." He was like on the rant. He's like, McKiver, you can't talk in my locker room. And yo, it was so funny, right, Kris? I turned back into a player. I'm like, okay, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man. But he was. I can see what you're saying. Like when he gets serious. Well, I'm not around him a lot, of course, but I seen that personally just with my own experience. Like, be quiet in my locker room, man.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't doing that. You talk to him when I get done.
So
brother.
so I'm saying that if you to any new aspiring media youngsters or people who are new to covering Coach Sampson, if you get that from him, don't take it personal, okay? Because you are not the first. You won't be the last. He's chopped me up a few times. He's chopped up Andy a few times. I think he chopped up Dayon a few times. It's all part of it. So don't, folks, because I've had a few texts. Man, Coach got on you today, Kris. No, I didn't. Ain't nothing heard. I haven't heard before, So it's all good, people. Don't worry about it. Trust me.
Where's Coach Sampson from? Hometown.
Well, the state's North Carolina. What is this? Some
Pembroke,
small.
isn't it?
That's the university. Well, it was Pembroke Institute before it became a university when he was there. But he had some. Y'all just gotta watch post game press conference on YouTube, man, because he had some great moments, great comments today, man. Great comments, man. Damn, man, what happened to your light, brother? You in the dark. There we go. Yeah. But it's great, as always, to talk with everyone watching us on YouTube and Musk after a Coug victory. We enjoy talking about the Cougs win or lose, but what is it? 20 times out of 24, we've talked on these post-game shows after victories. And as Andy said, 10 consecutive seasons, at least 20 wins. Man.
That's big time.
Hey, Kris, soon as you went off to tell Jeff, Fluff said, "What's up?" I asked the question, "What's it going to take for Coach to get his statue?" I mean, we all agreed and said it's coming. But what you think?
Oh yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. I mean, I don't know how. First, he has to retire, or I'm good with it. Once he wins the chip, to build it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's this year, yeah, let's go. Let's be positive. This summer, build it. Win that chip in April, build it this summer, or at least lay the groundwork for it, and announce. We're gonna build a statue to Coach Sampson and unveil it next season, whatever. But yeah, it's well deserved because the job
he deserves it, man.
I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. This Fluff knows. Older alums know.
Flies on the wall. That's what you want to
people. It's just to hear.
I was there.
Coach
I seen the high fives.
Oh man, it was bad, folks. This was. I know some alums who are older than me, but the fans who were here, the handful, being kind of not serious when I say a handful, but you could sit in a section by yourself.
Yeah.
There was no one in the section. You were by yourself in a section in Hall Fines. You could stretch out, do whatever you wanted because you had the whole section to yourself.
Unless it's like a big game.
Yes.
Unless it's a big game.
Then it was
and it's because
kind of full because of the opponent.
Because they're coming.
Yeah.
Not because we were playing. You know what I mean? So
and that's still one of my bigger issues with our football team. We still got too many alums who wait to see the opponent play rather than come see the Cougars play. But,
Does Kevin Cobb come back? Have you guys seen Kevin Cobb?
I haven't seen him, but I know Tank was here today. Case Keenum was here today. Tyus Bowers was here.
Keenum, that's my guy.
Carl Lewis was here. Carl's coach, Tom Telez was here. So, yeah, it was some big name people.
The running back that played with him, Bryce Bill, he does our football shows with us. My frat brother.
Yep.
What you was, Dayon?
We Space City News, baby. You know it.
Say it again.
It's Space City News.
Okay. I almost when I was at Houston, I almost did the Q thing, but they had too many rules, man. I was like, I'm like, man, coach already got me going. Coach already got me going to practice. Coach got me going to film. I don't want to do neither one of those. So, and now you got rules for me. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this question. That's a great comment. Where does and I'll just use coaches real quick on one thing. I looked it up. Coaches from Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Gotcha.
But I'll answer this question on the screen. Where does CKS Coach Sampson stand compared to Coach Lewis?
I'm not saying a word.
Oh no, I'm just
Me
going to say
either.
what Coach said. Coach Sampson said, Coach Lewis. Coach Lewis built this program. Coach Lewis established this program. Coach Lewis was the person to integrate this school, integrate this, basketball here in the South.
Yeah, he does say that all the
So
time.
you can't forget that. And I'm not gonna get myself in trouble, not on Andy's show, but on my show, I'll say some things about that y'all aren't gonna like. Some of y'all may not like. That's okay. That'll be on my show, not on Let's Rage Coogs.
Yeah, I got to hear about that. I don't know
Yeah,
nothing. That's before my time, but I need to know.
Sooner than later, Chris.
Yes,
It might be this Thursday. Might be this Thursday on my afternoon show. So
okay. I gotta tap in.
See, Miss Wanda remembers. She was there. Empty. The place was empty, people. Empty.
Yes, Lord, empty.
Empty.
I remember the last game in Hot Finds where Hakeem dunked. It was still empty then. Like it was empty as hell.
Yeah. We were saying goodbye to Hot Finds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping more folks would be there. Nope. Yep. Come a long way. A long, long way in 11 years, and I'm happy to see it.
What's the prediction for Arizona? How we feeling? I didn't watch Arizona last 3 games.
I got us by 5.
This is a great comment to segue into that game. Obviously, in Tucson, Arizona's playing really well at home. That's going to be a tough crowd, tough environment, and Crabtree hit it perfect, the nail on the head. If Caleb Love gets going, it could be a long afternoon. Great opportunity for another tough win on the road for Houston.
But Caleb Love is a hot and cold shooter, but he's a really good defensive player as well. So who he guards, that player may not score a lot of points, so it might be up to another Coug to spread it around. I'm looking forward to the matchup. I mean, Kevin Lewis. I mean, Arizona got big.
KJ Lewis.
KJ Lewis. I mean, KJ Lewis.
He their best defender.
So it's going to be a good matchup. Going to be a good road test. I think the Cougs can win. But, I mean, we can say the same thing about Emmanuel Sharp. If he gets hot from 3, it could be a long game from Arizona. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be a battle of the guards.
Battle
of the guards for sure. They got a freshman, Brian, who's an NBA prospect.
Yep. His dad, I think, is a...
Which one is that? Number 5?
One is...
Brian, yeah.
He might be number 5. Number 5, number 3. He's single digit.
Dark skin?
Yeah. No.
Light
About
skin.
6'4"?
Light skin. No, 5 is KJ Lewis.
Yeah. KJ Lewis does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he
I like
a bit
him.
everything. Yeah, I like him too. I like that point guard Bradley. We played against him when he was at Alabama his freshman year. When we lost at Alabama, he was there. And it's going to be a battle of the guards. Our guards got to outplay them. I can't wait to see how Milos play against Bradley, another guard who's really, really tough, aggressive.
Jaden Bradley.
That's
his name?
Yeah.
No, that's the point guard you're talking about.
That's the point guard. So I'm talking about Bradley. I can't wait to see that matchup. That's going to be a matchup that I got my eyes on.
Carter Bryant. That's the kid's name. Carter Bryant.
I'll say this about Caleb Love, though. Great player. Great pedigree, even coming from North Carolina to Arizona.
It's like our Rob Gray, actually.
Yeah.
Rob Gray was here tonight, too. I forgot about that. Rob was tonight at the game.
Wow. 32. But Caleb Love, if you really watch it, he makes great decisions and he makes bad decisions too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And do I got it?
Yeah.
Because I watched him. I watched him against Texas Tech the other night. And I'm like, and I'm thinking about us, and I'm like, we could turn him over. On him, not on ability that he has or that he doesn't have, just about what he think he could do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he'll try it.
Right.
I think that might be in our favor.
I mean, he does sometimes some things that you're like,
Why?
what the hell was that, Caleb?
Yeah.
You have teammates, Caleb. Get them
Caleb.
involved, Caleb. All those things. And he'll take some bad shots. I mean, before, I think non-conference, he was shooting like 25% from three.
See?
Because some of his shots are not good shots. And this is one of the things I've learned from other colleagues. Caleb Love, at times, takes heat check shots when he never got hot in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, Kris got out of the conference, the press conference with Coach Sampson, and then now he's on one.
Too.
Now this is part two.
But he is talented though. He is so talented.
Definitely.
He is. I mean, like, to your point, Kris, I want to say that was the game. Was that it? Iowa State? Like, but before he hit that half court shot to send it to OT,
he was tripping.
He was 1 for 10.
Yep.
And he made a 3 before he made the half court shot to make him 2 for 10, 2 for 11.
He was 2 for 11. Dayon, he was 2 for 11 before
11.
he made that shot.
And then after that, he go to OT and make his next 2 or 3 threes. But that's why you shoot those other 10, I guess.
Yeah.
You keep shooting as a shooter.
Shoot.
Shoot, I guess. But yeah.
But it's going to be
I'm
a
looking
great
forward to that
matchup.
matchup. They got a big, I can't know his name.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's
Number
tough
9?
inside.
Yeah.
Nah, the big fella.
Number 13.
Yeah, whatever. Big fella.
Let me see. Yeah,
Pull up their roster, Kris.
I got it. It's Krivas, 14. Is it him?
I'm gonna put it up right now.
Or is it?
I think it's 13.
Oh, is it Visar? 13. It's there. 13.
Yeah.
Henry Visar. Yeah.
Yeah, big fella. Hey, he tough in there.
Yeah, he can get
tough
something to do. Yeah, that's the kid too. Toby Awaka.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Walker. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's a newcomer of the week. Yeah.
Yeah, Toby Walker. He's a low. He tough. Tough. I can't wait to see how we control him on the boards. Toby Walker.
Exactly.
But both of
them.
But yeah, it's Toby and
Previous, he just tall and big.
Henry.
We gonna be stronger than him.
But I'm looking forward to the matchup. It's just another Big 12 matchup, and
this gonna be a good matchup right here. This the type of matchup I want to see. J1 have that dog.
Yes, that's where I was going.
This is one of them ones right here.
Yes.
This is one of
where
them
he
ones
started, really acting crazy,
like he did at Kansas. Like this one of them ones. Like come on with it.
And I hope the refs let the players decide the game. Don't get whistle happy in the first 5 minutes of the first half, and all of us are just like, okay, we didn't come to see y'all blow the whistle. Let the players play. Let's not get Juan in foul trouble in 2 minutes. Let's not get Caleb Love in foul trouble or Toby in foul trouble in 5 minutes. Let them play. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of curious to see what what Vegas line is going to set on that matchup, because Arizona should be favored because of the home game, and they're tied for first basically in the Big 12. So let's not be upset if the Cougs are underdogs and all that kind of stuff. A 2-point underdog or whatever kind of thing. This should be a hell of a matchup, and I hope it lives up to the hype. I hope ESPN
doesn't flex that game.
gives it the respect that it does. Gives the respect that it deserves.
I'm like, listen, I like Luka, bro. I like my Cougars more than Luka now.
But Luka's global. As soon as word got out, I guess Friday, that there was a great chance Luka was going to play Monday, that's when the discussion had already started about ESPN bumping this Houston Baylor game to ESPNU at 9:30. Because I kept figuring it out. Wait a minute. Because the schedule had ESPN for the Cougs for a long, long time. And then you saw that slash ESPNU. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I realized, Luka's going to play. And ESPN picked up the game. I'm like, that's a 9:30 start Central Time.
Yeah.
The Houston Baylor game won't be over. So what are they gonna be doing? Oh, they're gonna move it to ESPNU. Oh, okay. Well, see, there you go. Arizona is the Cougs next game. So yes, the Cougs do not play until this Saturday. So get some time off, much needed time off. Spend time in the whirlpool and get those massages and all that kind of stuff. So
It's almost like a bye week. Playing on Big Monday, you get this kind of a little rest.
And in cases like this season, this is really a bye week. Dayon, you're right, man. You might as well. This is as close as the Cougs will get. So you got to enjoy it and take advantage of it.
On that note, that's pretty much going to do it for tonight's edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Once again, the final score from the Fertitta Center. The 6th-ranked Houston Cougars come out on top, 76-65 over the Baylor Bears. LJ Cryer led the way in scoring for Houston, 14 points, 3 assists, only 1 turnover. Milo Zuzan, 12 points, 6 assists, no turnovers. Jawan Roberts, 10 points, 3 rebounds. Emmanuel Sharp in his return after missing 2 games, 10 points. For Houston, and Terrence Arsenal had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Houston as a team only had 7 turnovers. They made Baylor turn the ball over 15 times and turn those 15 turnovers into 28 points off of turnovers. Houston won the rebounding battle 22-20. Beat them in offensive rebounds as well, 9-4, 16 second chance points off of those 9 offensive rebounds, and the bench for Houston really was phenomenal and crushed Baylor in that aspect. 24-1 advantage for Houston when it comes to bench points in this game. Again, I'd like to thank first and foremost every single person that took the time out of their Monday night to join us for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Big thank you to Steve Saxenian, to Mike and Jennifer Pittman with Star Pizza for being sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Star Pizza is your go-to stop for pizza before or after the game. Be sure to visit them online at starpizza.net or on social media at Star Pizza HOU, or Star Pizza Houston, Texas on Instagram. Kris, I'll toss it over to you. First and foremost, where can people find you, sir? And any final comments from this game?
Thank you, fellas, as always. Thank you to Fluff, Dayon, Andy for carrying the load while I was getting the post-game questions in and things like that. I wanted to get this off, make a point. There was a T-shirt giveaway this evening, part of the Whiteout. It was not for I think the first 1,000 fans to attend tonight's game. It wasn't for everyone. The Cougs, I think, are going away from complete giveaways to the entire sold-out crowds because they're trying to get fans to buy the merchandise, to support the vendors, support those folks who are making the product available, because that's merchandise sales, ticket sales, all those things add up for Houston Athletics. So that money is important. So Houston's not going to completely give away merch in mass like it's done in the recent past. So some folks might get upset about, I didn't get a shirt, I didn't get this, so how come they ran out of? It's by design. They're trying to encourage people to buy some merchandise because, in this day and age, folks, NIL, Houston is still behind other big-time programs, Power 4 programs when it comes to the money part of it, the money aspect of it. And trust me, I understand the donor fatigue. I understand they asked me to spend this. I understand all that. But we have like 300,000 alums in this greater Houston area. If all of us spent, you decide what you can, if you don't have, you don't have it. But you set aside a budget of $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever, and put that toward your alma mater. Think about how much money that is every year for the athletic department. So that is part of it. And I get into it for my own merchandise for the Houston Round Bar Review. Got my own stuff, to support the Houston Round Bar Review. Been around a long, long time, 30 years, going on 31 years. Thank you, everybody, for watching us on Paul Samajama on YouTube. on Musk, on Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. And always, I'm proud to say it. I'll keep saying it. Since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
So, so me. I mean, for me, guys, Rob McKiver is my page. Um, Elm City Elite is our program. We run our program out of New Haven, Connecticut. We train boys, girls. We have AAU teams. We do mentorship, and what we're about is just teaching basketball, but in a mixture, teaching life through it. And there's been a great platform, for to get the confirmation, for some kids who are under my tutelage and understanding, where I come from and my alma mater, as Kris said, for kids to see, me on here and just to understand that, I'm talking from a place of knowing and a place of, just being around a great environment. Follow us, check us out, see what we about, get some merch, and that's about it, man. And keep supporting the Cougs. I love what Kris said. I didn't know it was that many alumni in the area, but when I come, I do my best to support as much as I can when I come in town, and go Cougs always.
And of course, first and foremost, appreciate everyone who tapped in and joined in with us for another fire episode of Let's Rage Coogs, another cool victory. Looking forward to the matchup against Arizona. I think it's a tough test. Toughest team always wins on the road. Looking for a tough fight. And I'm excited about this team, man. It's a lot of promise. Appreciate Fluff joining us once again. Always a pleasure to be alongside Andy and Kris, and it's always go Cougs.